Hello, welcome back to the somewhat daily Chino Home Show. First house up today is on Wilkes, and this is in the Chino Park area or Chino College area. This is $749,000 pricey home, but very nice, 5 bedroom, 3 bath. And let's go through some pictures. This is really, if you're going to do pictures, you're going to want to do them right like this. This home, you can see a professional photographer came in. You don't want to have a realtor that's going to take your own pictures or their own pictures, and you don't want to take the pictures yourself unless you are a professional photographer. But you can see that even the angles here of the shots, you're getting some depth here. And you can see also, compared to the other homes that we sometimes look at on the show, that there's not a lot of clutter. There's just enough stuff. I mean, you maybe even could remove some of these things. But again, you see this other shot, you have depth. It looks like a bigger space. I mean, you don't want to take shots that make the home look way better than they do in reality, but this is a very nice home, so you're not going to show up and think, oh my gosh, this is not even the same home. It's still going to look nice. It's very nicely staged. I don't know if this is professionally staged with furniture that was brought in, but it's a very nice home, so I wouldn't be surprised if the owners regularly had this nice furniture. A lot of upgrades. The owners have taken very good care of it. You've got this great large island. So you're definitely getting what you pay for here. You have this nice backsplash. This is just an outstanding looking home. And I'm going to speed through, and you can see just as we go through that it really looks like a model home. And that's what you want to go for when you're trying to sell your home. You want to try to stage it like it's a model home, like nobody lives there. And it's a good idea to even go online and look at model home pictures and just sort of get some ideas. And really one of the biggest mistakes people make is not decluttering. People tend to leave personalized items and a bunch of things that people are going to be distracted by usually. Geez, that's nice. I'd like to throw that in my backyard. Maybe lay right here on the grass, take a slight nap. Everything fits really nicely. They're not trying to jam oversized things. And sometimes I know how it is. You find something on sale, you just don't measure it, you bring it home, it doesn't quite fit, but you're going to live with it. When you're going to sell your home, you want to remove those items that don't fit and make the space look weird. They may be fine for your daily living. The other nice thing is, when we take pictures, we always try to do pictures of the community and surrounding, unless it's not in a planned community. But this is a nice touch because families are going to look at this property and think, oh, okay, that's walking distance. Okay, very nice. You can see yourself sitting on the porch. That's a great shot. Okay, so this is again in the College Park area. Great area. Very nice homes. The only downside here is that the middle school and high school are not high scoring, but the grade school is outstanding. You can see this Edwin Rhodes Elementary School scores very high, and then you hope that the district is in the process of building, and those processes are on track. The tax base here is not super low, but it's not as high as the preserve, where you have solid schools all the way throughout, which is the trade-off. Here we have this condo on Founders, and if you've watched the show at all, you know I'm a fan of the preserve, but I'm not a fan of condos in the preserve because the association just doesn't seem to justify. You're already paying a much higher tax base in the preserve, which I think is worthwhile because you do have the great schools all the way through, and I think otherwise you end up possibly, unless you time it right with the building, you're probably going to pay for private school, or you're just going to say, hey, I just can't afford private school. I'm going to send my kids to this marginal school or low scoring school. I shouldn't say marginal because teachers are going to start emailing me saying that, oh, this is a great school. It's not. But score wise, it's marginal. This is also fairly well staged. Nice touch with things. Nothing is distracting in terms of personal items and overly cluttered. Really nice condo, but you pay a few $100s for the Preserve Association, and then you pay a few $100 more for the Condo Association. So it's just hard for me to say that that's a great idea. But I do love the Preserve, and mainly because the schools are great, even though the taxes are higher. I almost bought a home there. In fact, we were in escrow, and the builder just wasn't able to pull the trigger before my kids were going to go to school. And we had a long window at that point. The kids were young, and I thought this is great. I didn't know that other areas around there would build the schools fast enough that they had promised, and as it turned out, they didn't. But as it turns out, we moved somewhere else. But it would have worked out to stay in the preserve, but not if we would have chosen another location. Okay, let's go to the next one. This one I point out, all these are new on the market in the last day or two, which is why we're focused on them. But this one, sometimes you have renters in a place, which I'm not sure that's the case because you have this RV. I'm not sure what the deal is here. But for whatever reason, this was listed without any pictures. This is just the Google Map pictures on the MLS feed. There are no pictures at all. But Realtor.com will throw up some sort of Google Map picture. This is built back in 1953, so there's an older home. $369. That is very inexpensive for the city of Chino, and you can see it's in a neighborhood. Normally, that you're looking at a condo price for that. So the price is right, but the pictures or lack thereof is wrong. Smaller house, 1,000 square feet, 3 bedroom, 1 bath. So it is sort of a condo size, but you have a yard and you're in a neighborhood, so that's nice. Let me just show you where it's at really quickly. Schools are low scoring, but you may not be a person with a family if you're looking at this one, unless you're just trying to grab a starter home. It is above the 60, and so it borders right on Ontario Montclair area. Not a place a lot of people want to be, but it is a lower price starter home that you might be able to get into and make some changes and do something. The other thing is with the lack of pictures, it's going to turn people off in terms of going to see it. So sometimes that's a great opportunity, especially in a market like today's, where people are really jumping on homes as soon as they're listed because there are just more buyers than there are sellers right now. This last one is on Grant, and this is 435, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, single family. And this is just your very basic 3-2 home in just a normal residential neighborhood. Um, Fairly well kept up. Nothing spectacular about it. The kitchen seems like it has been upgraded at some point. Newer fixtures. Here I probably would have taken some of this clutter away, but this isn't as bad as a lot of the ones we've covered in other shows. Kitchen looks great. This is staged fairly well. Pictures are okay. This has a nice pool. This is the kind of yard that I like. You're never going to have to buy a mower. That's beautiful. Things look pleasant, and that is a pretty solid home and not too bad for the price. Let's just scroll down. And I didn't hit the location of this one is just off Walnut in here. So schools are not high scoring in this area, but it's not a bad little neighborhood location. You know, some of these pocket areas have people you don't want to live next door to necessarily. So you definitely, if you're looking at this kind of home that's a little bit older, you want to drive through those areas several different times a day, and just make sure you have a great feel. If I was going to buy this home, I'd go around, or if I was going to help you buy this home, I'd go around and knock on doors and meet the neighbors and make sure you get a really good sense of who lives in the neighborhood. Because when you have a little bit older neighborhood, there's been some turnover and you just want to be 100% sure you're going to be comfortable. I've done that where I've moved and not done it and ended up next door to people that have parties every other day. And if I would have just knocked on some doors, I would have known that that's not where I wanted to be. All right, that's it for the somewhat daily Chino Home Show. If you need anything or have questions, feel free to give me a call or text or email or whatever you need to do. All right. Thanks. Have a great weekend.